There's this strange kind of pressure that comes with growing up, and not the loud kind, but the quiet one. The kind that whispers, you should be further by now. As teenagers, we're constantly told that everything is temporary, that heartbreak fades, that problems pass, that life hasn't even started yet. But when you're actually living through it, it doesn't feel temporary at all. It feels heavy, feels confusing, and sometimes it feels lonely, especially when you're expected to keep moving forward while carrying things no one else can see. Moving on is one of the hardest things we're asked to do in life, not because we don't want to heal, but because no one really teaches us how. We're told to let go, but no one explains what that means when you're already struggling, and when you're dealing with anxiety that keeps your thoughts racing at night, or when depression makes even simple things feel exhausting. When you're doing your best just to make it through the day without falling apart, it's a real struggle. For a long time, I didn't even realize how much I was carrying. I just knew that some days felt heavier than others, that my mind wouldn't slow down, that I couldn't be surrounded by people and still feel disconnected from everything. But then I met someone. A couple months back, I started talking to this girl, and we connected really fast. It didn't feel forced, didn't feel like trying, it just felt natural. Before I knew it, we were calling almost every night. Hours would pass without us noticing, and I've been in relationships before, but this was different. It wasn't just attraction, it was emotional. For the first time in a while, I felt seen, heard, understood. And that connection did something to me. It made me want to be better, not in a fake way, not to impress, but genuinely better. I started going to the gym consistently. I took care of myself more. Mentally, I felt lighter, happier, more motivated. It felt like I was finally becoming the version of myself I always knew was there, but couldn't reach on my own. We stayed in this awkward talking stage for months. Not official, not defined, just existing in this in-between space. 6 months went by like that, and then one night, nothing. No call, no message. Then another night, and another. 3 nights of silence. And eventually I got a long message explaining that a relationship wasn't a good idea for her situation. Now, as much as I wanted to say everything at that moment, just so many thoughts going through my mind. But there was no anger, no hatred. I understood her reasoning. But understanding doesn't cancel out pain. And you could say I was naive for even trying, but in that moment I just felt so much happier. What hurt wasn't just losing her, it was losing the version of myself that existed during that time. The effort, the hope, the future I didn't even realize I had built in my head. Felt like someone flipped a switch and suddenly I was standing alone, holding feelings that had nowhere to go. That's the part people don't talk about. When something ends like that, you don't just miss the person. You miss the way you felt. You miss the motivation. You miss believing things were finally getting better. And when you already struggle with anxiety or depression, moments like that hit deeper. They make you question yourself. They make you wonder if you imagine a connection. They make your mind spiral into, what did I do wrong, and why wasn't I enough? It took me a long time to let go of the interest I had for her. And even now, if I'm being honest, the feelings didn't just disappear. They settled somewhere quieter, somewhere deeper. And that's when I realized something important. Moving on doesn't mean feelings vanish. It means they stop controlling you. We're taught that healing is supposed to be clean, that one day you wake up and everything makes sense. But real healing is messy. It comes in waves. Some days you feel okay, some days you don't. Some days you feel like you're back at the start. That doesn't mean you failed, it means you're human. The same goes for depression and anxiety. You don't beat them overnight. You don't outgrow them just because you turn 18, and you don't suddenly become confident or fearless because society labels you as an adult. Turning 18 is weird. People treat it like a switch flips, like you're supposed to feel different, more mature, more certain, but sometimes nothing changes at all. You still have the same thoughts, the same fears, the same unfinished healing. And that can be scary because now the expectations are higher, but you still feel like yourself. But here's the truth, no one says enough. Not changing doesn't mean you're stuck, and struggling doesn't mean you're weak. Sometimes growth looks like showing up even when you're tired. Sometimes it looks like going to the gym, not to punish your body, but to care for it. Sometimes it looks like choosing not to shut down when something hurts. And sometimes it looks like accepting that something mattered deeply, even if it didn't last. That connection I had, it wasn't a mistake. It showed me what I'm capable of. It showed me I can care deeply. It showed me I can grow, even when it's uncomfortable. And maybe that's the point of some people in our lives. Not to stay forever, but to wake parts of us we forgot existed. Moving on doesn't mean forgetting. It means carrying the lesson without carrying the weight. You can miss someone without needing them back. You can honor a chapter without reopening it. You can keep becoming better for yourself, not for someone else. If you're watching this and you're dealing with anxiety or depression or heartbreak or that quiet feeling that something inside you isn't settled yet, you're not broken, you're not behind, you're becoming. Turning 18 doesn't mean you have life figured out. It means you're allowed to start figuring it out at your own pace. Some chapters don't start with confidence. They start with honesty, with reflection, with choosing not to give up on yourself, even when things fall apart. Moving on isn't about becoming emotionless. It's about becoming grounded. Grounded enough to say, that hurt, but it didn't end me. That mattered, but it doesn't own me. I'm still here, and I'm still growing. And that is more than enough.